Hey guys, it's Sarah. So welcome to a new video. I haven't posted for a week, been gone, haven't had time to upload, but I'm back. So today we are doing a July wrap up and August TBR. For my July wrap up, it's also one of the best books that I've read, but also a lot of books that I didn't like at all. So let's get into it. Let's get started. So one of the books that I absolutely loved in the month of July was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. It has taken me years to finally read this. I've been meaning to. I got this from Half Price Books and I really bought it on a whim because I was like, may or may not. I've heard iffy things about it, especially Aurora Rising. But basically this is about Alina Starkov, who is in this Grisha world where Grisha are these people with abilities and powers who are placed very highly. They're very superior beside you. You know what I mean? They're the superior people. Alina reveals that she has a power she didn't know she had, and it was the power of the summoning the sun, which is really, really useful against the force or establishment, something like that Darkling is trying to go against. So he decides to train her and use her as this power because the other side, it's very dark. The monsters don't like light, which makes it very useful for her to be this sun summoner. So yeah, that is basically the plot of it, but the character wise, I love Alina. She is very much like me, I guess, in a sense, so I really found her to be quite relatable. But yeah, so I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Loved it. Can't wait to get to the next book. But yeah, so that's the first book. The next book that I read is Saga Volume 1. This is a graphic novel, but I really, really enjoyed this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not really critical on graphic novels and manga. This really deserves it. So tiny, but so much happens. Essentially, these are the parents and this is the baby, and the baby is narrating this story. So it's really different and it's really interesting, different aspects. The parents are from two different sides of something, worlds, I guess. It's a sci-fi, so I guess worlds. They fall in love, they have a baby, and a lot is happening. They are actually on the run from these people who are out to get them, and also struggling with a baby. It's hard. I don't really want to talk a whole lot about it because it's so tiny. I don't want to give much away, but that is the basic information about this book. This next book is a reread for me, and that is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. Definitely loved it. Even better the second time, I meant. Sorry, I can't speak today. So this is basically about a prince who goes out at night as Lady Crystalia, and the dressmaker who helps him with dresses. She makes him dresses, amazing, beautiful dresses. It talks about him and his identity, and he doesn't really want to tell his parents because he's the prince and he's afraid of what they will think of him. It's very heartwarming, especially at the end. So I give that one a 5 out of 5 stars. And these next two are very The Betrothed by Cress. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. It was basic. I think her name's Hollis. Yeah, Hollis. She is going to be marrying the prince, to be queen. She finds someone else, and she realizes that the king isn't as good for her as she thought, and she doesn't want to be made out for queen, and it's not that good. Very predictable. The ending was supposed to be sad, but it was just too predictable. I'm like, that was really it. Like, I think it had a little bit of potential, but it just didn't meet my standards. Yeah, boring, not much to talk about. The cover is beautiful though, I will say that. One of my worst books, one of my most disappointed reads that I have read, and that is Aurora Rising. Now, I had so high expectations of this book, for this book. I was very invested in it in the beginning. I was like, oh my god, who is Aurora? Who is this girl? She is basically this girl, main girl, Aurora. you know, she's in this big ship. She's been on this ship in a like capsule or something. This kid finds her, and her other shipmates are dead. She's the only living person. And she gets a bunch of flashbacks from her family. But the thing is, it's interesting, but the questions just keep building and building and building and building, and none of them get answered throughout the book. The characters have like no backstory. No, they have backstories, like mini ones, but these characters have like no, like they're just bland characters. They have one trait that defines them, and that is just not good for a book. There was 100 pages left before I DNF'd it because I just couldn't do it anymore. The plot is they're just traveling. So yeah, didn't like this book. I think I first gave it like a 2.5 stars. This is going to like a 1.5. This is probably my lowest rated book because of how disappointed I was with it. Yes, I will be petty and take off a whole star rating for it just because personal reasons. I was very invested just to be disappointed. Nobody likes that. But yeah, so those are the books that I read in July, and now on to the books that I plan on reading in August. So the first book is one that I'm probably gonna start like today because I just got it in the mail today. And that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I'm very excited. The cover is so cute. It's so simple. It's so cute. It's so cute. I don't really know much about this book because this is actually I do. I just don't really remember. I don't usually read contemporaries. They're not my go-to. But this one just sounded really good. It reminds me of that one book. It's the one where her friend sends her a list of things to do. It's about Chloe Brown, who is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. Some of them lists because she wants to get out of her comfort zone, enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, and go camping, along with other things. But yeah, so I'm excited to read this. Super excited. I have very high expectations in this because I've heard great things about it. So yeah. The next book is a graphic novel, and that is Fence Volume 3. I read Fence Volume 2 and 1 about like months and months ago, but I have been meaning to get the next books, so this is Volume 3. I love the art style in this book. I love the color. I love this guy. The next book is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. Second book to Shadow and Bone. I'm excited. The next book is something that I hope that I can read within this month. It's Cress by Marissa Meyer. And the funny thing about this book, that I'm supposed to be buddy reading this with my friend Sky. And we've been meaning to buddy read it for months and months. Same with Blue Lily, Lily Blue. And I am so sorry. We just never have like the right time for it, which sucks because we're always reading something else, or I'm in a book slump because that's what's been happening a lot lately. So hopefully we can get to this. It's a pretty big book, so hopefully I won't get in a book slump before this. Knock on wood. And the next book is one that I've actually already read, but it was still on my TBR, and that is This One Summer by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. Enjoyed it. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah. That is all that I am going to talk about today. I hope that you guys have had a good time watching this. I hope that I don't talk too fast because I know I was talking pretty fast. I hope you guys have an amazing day and hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later.